We have made it back to the water hole this time with fishing poles, and it is saltwater. Let's get this thing unloaded. The boat's now down in the water. It's sitting in the shade. We're about to take off. So in episode 1, I didn't show you the bench seat very much. If we pop it open, it's got hinges. There's the snacks, there's the drinks, dry box, there's a cooler. That's the bait cooler. Backpack, the battery box, that's where I'm keeping my magnet and rope. And there is a tackle box. We're going to need that because we're about to do a little fishing right here by these pylons. I'm ready, go ahead. So Gretel, she's got 2 bites and a catch, and me and Heidi got nothing. She's showing off. Is this your first fish?
Yes, that I've got.
Ever?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, dumb.
Hold him tight. There you go. Don't let him go. Uh oh, she's getting in your spot.
It's kind of slippery though. Hi, that's my spot. Oh, this is weird. Oh, but at least he got it. Ew, I think he just peed. I feel like it. He's slipping. No, you let out.
Hold him up for us. Sideways. You want to use him for bait or let him go?
Let him go.
That's what I thought. Go ahead.
Bye, baby.
Give him a kiss.
Name it. Fast bouncing eye. Gills.
Alright, 1-0. Fishing update. The fish aren't biting, but the cookies are.
Yeah, no.
Did she put that one back? Anyway, the weather is absolutely perfect. It's sunny, except for under the bimini top, it's shady. So we're fishing out the back here. There's a pole, there's a pole, there's a pole, but no bites. Pretty scenery though. What? We had one little Pringle blow out of the boat, and out of nowhere, here's a seagull. And now, I don't know how they see that good. I just untied the rope. We've just been coasting in the wind, the current. I think it's mostly the wind. Might go up in there and try a little fishing, and then head back in. Gotta go back that way to get back to the boat ramp. Boat ramp's right up in there. But a nice fishing deck up here. Very nice. Starting with the diverters, that's what most people ask me about. And what I did, I made a a mark right here. There's a seam right there that cuts this barrel in half. A seam on this side, there's a seam on the opposite side. So I made a mark here. There's no seam here. On my original barrels, there was a nice line that went all the way down. It had marks like, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 gallons. Up at the top, there's another seam. I made a mark there. I'm gonna get my level now, make a plumb line straight up and down the barrel. I've already done the other side. Straight up and down. And the blue permanent marker matches. So now the level says it's plumb. I've got it on that seam here. I've got on that seam down there. I'll take my marker and I'm gonna mark it. Marking it all the way from the top to the bottom. And now we have both sides marked. Now I'm gonna make a line from here that goes diagonally up to the top of the other, line here, and then from here down to the bottom of the other line. Sorry about the darkness, it's starting to storm, but I've got me a flexible straight edge. I come up to that little point, I come around to the other side, and I'm gonna trace that all the way down to this other side. It's kind of hard to film. Let me trace it, and then I'll show you. So what I'm gonna do now, drill a hole here, take the jigsaw and follow that line all the way to here. So we'll cut both of those lines. This line does not get cut, and we'll also be cutting along this line. I'm gonna quit talking and I'll show you. The only thing I've done so far, I drilled a hole here. I'm gonna start with the jigsaw, come up, and I'm gonna go that way, go this way, and around this line. On the other side, on the other end, I drilled a hole here. Jigsaw's gonna go this way, that way, and that way. That's all I've done so far. And the first time on build number 1, I took a sawzall and I just chopped it. I'm gonna try to go a little slower, make it a little bit smoother this time. Jigsaw. It smells like shampoo in there. Diverter step 1 is done. Up next, I'm gonna cut along that line right here and that line right there. I'll be right back with you. I've got the tape measure on the edge of the top of the drum. If I pull over about 18 inches, that's where I want to cut the bottom of this drum. If we go up to the top, I'm gonna pull 18 inches from that barrel over, make a mark on both sides, get my flexible straight edge, mark it and cut it. So first I measured from this barrel out 18 inches and I made a mark here. Then I stand this barrel up, it's 16.5 inches from the floor. Spin this around, I made another mark at 16.5 inches. I'm ready to get the flexible straight edge. With my flexible straight edge, I've got one end on the mark here. I come around, my toes are holding it on the other edge. I'm gonna get the Sharpie, I'll mark that. Then we'll mark the other side, and then we'll cut it. My lines are now marked. I'll cut them out and we'll see how it fits. The only thing left to do now on this diverter, there's a little point here that needs to be trimmed off, and it's done. Come around to this side. Cut off that little point. Oops, sorry. Cut off this little point, and we got it. And there we have it. Diverter number 1 is done. I'm happy with it, and the good news is I can lay this on diverter number 2 and just trace it, start cutting. I've got diverter number 1 laying on top of diverter number 2. I'm gonna trace it and cut it. So on the top of the barrel, there's a 1-inch lip that this diverter wants to fit down into. I'm gonna cut out this 1-inch notch. It should fit perfect. I'll be right back with you. And now that the barrels are pressurized, the bottom and top, they're pooched out a little bit. The space is a little bit expanded. When we get up to the diverter, I should have made the boat more like 14 feet instead of 13'8", but I believe I can cut that off flat and just screw it straight into the 2x4. And I'm gonna have a 2x4 running down that it screws into. It'll work out. So I just put the diverter up to the barrel, and then I traced this line. Then I came back with my protractor, and the dotted line is what I'm gonna be cutting off. Much thicker here than it was up there. Once we do that, we'll see what else we need to do. This is what's going on with my diverter skeleton. I got one board going down, one board coming up, one board coming across. And I've marked on my diverter where I'm going to put me some screw holes. No guesswork there. 3 screws here, maybe 1, 2, 3 in the front. Let me get it on and I'll show you. Okay, I put the diverter on, and this point sticks out past the 2x4. So I've marked it, that's where it's going to get cut off. And I've also put in another cross member, that's where the sides of the diverter screws in, here and there. Next time you see it. Diverter number 1 is completely installed. I've got 3 screws running down the center. I got 2 screws up front, I got 1 screw on each side. It's good strong plastic. It's not going anywhere. And this extra brace here keeps my barrels from trying to walk forward. There is diverter number 1, and diverter number 2 is ready for the water. Completely installed.